YouTube, today we're going to be continuing to use the infamous Final Gambit Victini with Soulheart Magearna, but we are using a power swap fun tech with Water Spout Kyogre. Let's see if we can accomplish more of those in today's video. But if you do enjoy the videos, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, really does help me out. If you want to check out the details of the team down below in the description, there is a page with the team. You can grab the rental while it is available, if it's still available. But otherwise, let's get started and play some games. Palkia, Zacian, Groudon, Gastrodon, Grimmsnarl, and Incineroar. Why is this Rainia's son, but just you added a random Palkia here? I don't know why. All right, what do I want to go here? Because actually, this could be a little bit strange. I'm not like too concerned about it, but I think one of the problems with Victini and Magearna in the Dynamax format, of course, it's just like if they lay two Pokemon that can Dynamax, it can be a mind game right here of who they decide to Dynamax right here, which is kind of concerning. A Calyx Ice does extremely well in this. Kyogre, of course, does really well. I don't really want to bring Zacian. I'm probably just going to bring the same as I normally do. The only Pokemon that could like do decently well that I'm considering is Landorus, but I don't think I need the Intimidate specifically, and I feel like I could just sweep under Trick Room under the right conditions. So let's go with Magearna plus Victini, and then in the back, let's go with our Kyogre and our Calyx Ice Rider like usual. I wonder what they lead here, because they don't exactly have the best. I mean, if they lead Incineroar, they could fake out my Victini, but they can't knock out my Magearna, which is a pretty big thing. So if they don't know my sets, I'm able to... They probably fake out Victini and just go for a attack right there. And if that's the case, I'm just going to go for a Trick Room, probably just hard swap right there. So it really just depends on who they decide to lead here, but I don't feel like it's too bad. Like if they lead... what, Zacian, I guess, to threaten Magearna, because not meant much on their team really threatens it. If they go Groudon, I'm going for a Trick Room hard swap into Kyogre, unless I think it depends, because they could Blades too, but if they Blades, Magearna will probably live one Blades normally, even if I didn't have a Focus Sash on tact. So I'd be kind of surprised if they made that play and not just Max Quake there. A Gastrodon plus Groudon's an interesting one. Okay, so I'm kind of curious on this one. But I think what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to go for the Final Gambit into Gastrodon. I could Final Gambit to Groudon, but the thing, it's kind of interesting because I feel like they had to Dynamax to Groudon. I don't think Gastrodon Max Quake would knock out a Magearna normally, unless it's like, like a really invested Gastrodon. I imagine this one's probably decently bulky, so I don't think I would believe it. So I'm just going to go for a Final Gambit to Gastrodon. If I get a Gastrodon, I just like win the Kyogre. But it might be a too obvious play, which is like the concerning part. But I think even if I get the play wrong, Kyogre next to Calyx Ice Rider should be fine here. Yeah, I'm just going to Trick Room. And that means they max Gastrodon, which is even that big of a threat right here. We do see a Dynamax come out. Is this Gastrodon or is this Groudon? That's the big question. If it's Groudon, I pretty much just win the game right here, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, okay, perfect. Oh boy, that is absolutely amazing right here. Focus Sash Magearna. Gonna be incredible right here. Is it Protect at least, or no Protect? Oh wait, no, doesn't Gastrodon... I just realized Gastrodon has more HP. Wait, I just realized my play was really dumb, because Gastrodon usually has more HP than Victini, but because I keep forgetting that Gastrodon has like a really high HP stat, but Gastrodon was not invested in max HP or nowhere near close, so oh, that was such a bad mistake too. I would have probably should have just like went for a Flare Cannon or something like a V-Crate Flare Cannon, but you know what? If it works, it works. I have no idea. They probably have like actual defense investment. That should not have worked, but Kyogre can come in and I'm giving my powers. I'm giving my Kyogre +2. I don't care. There's nothing on my opponent's side that gets... If they go Palkia, that's kind of like, oh, Flare Cannon. I'm surprised. Kind of surprised. Okay. Because Flare Cannon would decimate the Palkia right here, so I don't know about bringing out the Palkia right here, but you know what? I really just want to click Water Spout right here. I really do. I mean, the safe play is just a Water Spout anyway, and you know, if it's a Assault Vest, maybe the Groudon can live. It's +1 in Rain. I'm just gonna power swap the Kyogre. Just give it to +2. Like +2 Kyogre is just gonna decimate their team anyway for the most part. They already maxed their Groudon. Like I don't expect this to be... I mean, this could be max guard Groudon. as we obviously have figured out the Gastrodon isn't like massively HP invested. It probably has some, but I don't think it's like near max. A power swap onto Kyogre right here. I can't believe that that actually worked out. That really should not have worked out. That Gastrodon actually had like a lot of HP investment, because I'd imagine you would want at least not to be in that HP range. I'd imagine it's like 208 would be the minimum HP investment for leftovers recovery, so you get the maximum leftovers recovery that you can with the Gastrodon. But yeah, a Thunderbolt coming out from the Palkia into Magearna. Okay, so Magearna does go down, but plus to Kyogre next to Cali Ice is going to sweep your team. There is nothing you could do about it. Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely a mistake by me, but you know what? I didn't get punished right there. If that was the case, I probably should have led Cali Ice. Yeah, I probably could have just let Cali Ice. Cali Ice would have been a really good lead there. Maybe I should stop defaulting to Magearna, especially against like really weak teams. It's usually a safe way to get Trick 'em up. But with that, I think like everyone knows at this point for about the Magearna plus the Victini lead with the final Gambit trick. And it's just like, there's not really anything different here, where you pretty much lead two Pokemon that probably don't get threatened, at least by the final Gambit if you have it. I mean, it's kind of hard. There's like a few Pokemon that can probably manage it. Yveltal's one of them, which is a little bit annoying. Of course, you can't hit Ghost type, so Calyx, Shadow Rider, Marshadow. But yeah, otherwise it's just like a little bit difficult. But Gastrodon was definitely one of them and should not have done that, but okay. We'll take that. Incineroar, Flare Blitz into Calyx, but yeah, I mean, the Kyogre just won. Did you see how much damage it did to Palkia too? Like, +2 specs Water Spout in the rain against a quad resisted. It like 70% of the Palkia. That's absolutely insane to me. But yeah, that really should not have worked, but it just happened, I guess. I guess I could just read these players and Great Ball and Ultra Ball tiers what their stats are, that they don't have the max HP investment. But yeah, I probably should definitely adjust my game plan, but I don't know what I would really go for though. Maybe a double V crate in that case. I don't know, that probably wouldn't really work there. I mean, I think as long as I get Calyx Ice in the safe position is probably okay, but maybe just not going for the V crate was better. Maybe, or going for the final Gambit was better. Maybe just going for maybe like a trick in the Gastrodon could have been okay. Or maybe even a hard switch to Cali Ice could have been a pretty strong play and just protecting, because it would have forced him in a really awkward spot. And I probably like that play more, I think, if I were to redo that better. But hey, I was able to get the Kyogre sweep, which was pretty fun. Zamazenta, Zacian, Lunala, Victini, Rayquaza, Groudon. This is one heck of a team right here. I'll definitely tell you that much. Okay, I want to go with my Zacian lead right here. Zacian really good. I think Zacian, Magearna. Yeah, Zacian, Magearna. Oh man, I kind of don't want to bring Kyogre, but I mean, Kyogre just gets trapped by the Wide Guard on the Zamazenta. Although I don't know if they actually bring this Zamazenta, but it makes sense, I think. And then in the back, I actually really don't like Cali Ice, so that I think about it. Yeah, I'd rather actually just bring Kyogre, and surprisingly, I'd probably bring the Victini. The main reason I think I bring Victini is because if Trick Room gets stalled out, I could see a position where we could get V creates, maybe even in Sun. So, or with Airlock for Quaza. I think this is okay here. I just don't really like the Cali Ice here, because Wide Guard on potential Lunala and the Zamazenta, they actually have double Wide Guard, which is not a great thing for my team. This matchup actually looks pretty tough. Victini, it's kind of awkward here. I am leaning double Steel, but like, I don't know if they even lead Victini against my team. I think they're going to lead Lunala plus like, I think Lunala Rayquaza or Lunala Groudon makes the most sense, because I think it's like the best way you deny the Victini plus Magearna in case I am the stash on the Magearna in the worst case, because then you don't have to worry about final Gambit. And yeah, I think that's pretty big. Let's see what my opponent decides to opt for though, as I am leading the Zacian and the Magearna because I'm hoping to dish out some decent damage here. Zamazenta plus the Groudon right here. Okay, interesting lead here. I wonder if they actually wait, if I let Victini, I just clicked V-Crate into the Zamazenta. I'm very shocked that they actually led this, but yeah, this is okay for me right here. I really think this is okay for me right here. I'm just going to go for the Behemoth Blade then. I'm going to go for the Behemoth Blade into the Groudon, and I'm going to go for the Protect right here. Yeah, I think that's fine. Behemoth Blade into Groudon. I think Groudon might max here. If it doesn't, that's fine. I guess I could have Trick Room, but it's not even that big of a deal, as Behemoth Blade's going to do a lot of damage to my opponent right here, and then I can put in range of Final Gambit, and then I can just power swap, I guess, the Solar Boost into my Kyogre, and I think I win. They're going to go for coaching. That's acceptable. Yep. And Precipice Blades. If they miss here, it's actually really awkward. I actually really want them to hit here. And the reason I want them to hit is because I don't think my Groudon 2 shots to Groudon after that coaching. Okay, perfect. Whew, all right. So goodbye the Zacian. Ideal here. And now I can get my Solar Boost. I can get 3 Solar Boosts actually from this, and then just Kyogre sweep them, I think. I'm going hard into my Victini here. I'm going for the Final Gambit here into... They have a Sashmon that was like, okay, this is 100% Sash and actually scary. Not really. No, not at all. Zamazenta have a higher HP stats than... I don't remember. I feel like Final Gambit and Zamazenta is correct because... Yeah, I actually think it's correct. And just Trick Room. Because I could see them trying to bait out the Final Gambit from the... and go into Lunala for the Groudon, but they don't make that play, which is fine. Like, I'm pretty sure they would just went for close combat plus a Precipice Blades right there into Magearna to always like try to deny Trick Room guaranteed, which is fine here because I get rid of the one of the potential wide guard users, probably the main one I'd imagine right here. And then next turn, the Lunala. You're gonna have to live a +3 Max Geyser. That's a pretty tall order right here. The Precipice Blade's gonna connect. If I dodge the Precipice Blades too, I think it also gave me like a really good odds right there. I don't think they were ever gonna click in coaching in that situation either. So yeah, I think this works out. Trick Room gonna come out from my Magearna, and that Lunala has to live a +3 Max Geyser in the rain. I don't know about any mathematicians, but I don't really see that happening right here. So let's bring out our Kyogre. There should be Lunala. Yep, it is Lunala. This is probably like a wide guard or Trick Room attempt, so I'm just going to click a Max Geyser into the... I guess it's kind of annoying, but yeah, I am... Should I click Water Spout? No, I think I should just click Max Geyser into the Lunala, and I think I should just power swap. I could also Fleur Cannon and go for a Max Geyser too. That also works. But power swap seems more fun. So yeah, let's just go for the Max Geyser and the power swap right here. A +3 just sounds super fun with my Kyogre. And let's see how this is going to go. Are they going to go for wide guard? Do they protect on the Groudon? Which I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure it's like Assault Vest at this point. Precipice Blade shouldn't do too much damage. Although I'm still going to have to worry about a Dynamax. If they Dynamax Lunala, this is actually a pretty awkward spot for me. But I feel like it's more likely they go for wide guard if anything. Let's just figure it out here. I think they're probably like worst case fearing like an attack from my Magearna into the Lunala as well as a Water Spout. So I think they have to wide guard here. I could have targeted down the Groudon if that's the case, but I don't want Dynamax Lunala. Dynamax Lunala is probably the only thing that could probably survive, and I feel like it was more likely they would have went for it in the previous. They actually do Dynamax a Pokemon though. Is that Groudon or is that if it's Groudon, it's probably okay still. But yeah, we're gonna see. Oh, they did Dynamax Lunala. Smart. All right. I don't think we're blowing this away. Oh dang! I could have just Fleur Cannon Water Spout and just won. That's unfortunate for me. Power swap. That's +3 just KOs. If I get the +3 KO, that'd be amazing. But that's a tall order. If I had Mystic Water, maybe. But that does so much damage to Xiaoshu. Jeez. Precipice Blades comes out. But yeah, this is probably a wrap here. Unless I can dodge one Precipice Blades, probably. Which I'm... maybe even 2. I probably have to dodge 2, yeah. Next Phantasm going to come out. Dang, I could have just clicked Water Spout. Oh, that's a shame too, because I think Water Spout could have actually just knocked out the Lunala. I could have also clicked Fleur Cannon. If I clicked Fleur Cannon to Groudon, I guess I just had better options. This play was too fun and just did not work, unfortunately. I have to always target the Lunala, right? Because, yeah, my only out is Groudon missing after all. So, because then they get 2 hits off into Kyogre and I just instantly lose, because I'm assuming Zacian's in the back too. I don't know. I don't think I'd win regardless. Let's see here. Goodbye, Lunala. I'm definitely going in on the blades. So if I can dodge the blades, maybe, but it doesn't look like it, unfortunately. All right. Christmas Blades goes out into Kyogre, and that is a wrap right there. I guess I should have probably just let... That's a shame. If I just led Victini, would have actually been pretty solid, because I would have just been able to go for the Final Gambit, or even maybe even the V-Create, but I actually don't even know how much it does, because Zamazenta has the defense boost, but I don't think it lives V-Create in the Sun from Victini. It's such a powerful move. Which is a shame, because the lead would have been strong and I wouldn't have had to sacrifice my Zacian immediately, which I was expecting to. I was like, okay, I can probably pressure like a Lunala lead with whatever they want to like lead to Dynamax, and then I can just get some pretty big chip damage to where they're forced to either deny the Trick Room by doubling up my slot into the Magearna, or like, and then Zacian could like pick up a 2-shot into a Pokemon, which I felt like is pretty big. And I still have like some pressure, but yeah, it did not exactly work out that way. Oh, they actually shared a team, so let's see. Rusted Sword, this had Wide Guard, not too surprising. The standard Zacian, it was Wide Guard Lunala, so yeah, it was basically a mind game here. But I guess I did have more plays. I could have just like played around the Wide Guard. I kind of went greedy and just like was like, oh, I'm just gonna go for it. But it wasn't exactly great. A Final Gambit Victini, not max speed, which is kind of surprising there. Life Orb, Outrage on the Rayquaza, and it was a Selfish Groudon. Yeah, I could have just went for the Final Gambit, but I was really worried about them switching out Groudon into Lunala, because I felt like Groudon still had value. You didn't need to go for Precipice Blaze all the time, so I was just a little bit scared of that, but because I felt like Zamazenta would probably stay in it usually, but not to the Groudon, so I felt like if they were going to make the Lunala play, it was like safer than Zamazenta, but also getting rid of a Wide Guard user is still very valuable at that point. So yeah, I think the only play I don't really stand for was probably my power swap, but it was a call right there. I just lost it. Yveltal, Groudon, Magearna, Calyx, Ice Rider, Incineroar, and Shedinja. The Shedinja is kind of a weird mon here. Okay, that's actually kind of concerning. I don't have ways to hit the Shedinja, which is kind of ironic, but I just don't. Okay. A little bit of a strange team. I do really like Landers here, though, ironically. Landers U-turn is actually really nice. I actually really don't have great ways to hit Shedinja. I have like Hailstorm on the Kyogre, and that's really it with Victini, because otherwise, yeah, look at the team. I do not have any good options against Shedinja, so I'm gonna have to watch out for that Pokemon. Ironically, I thought it was over. Like, I'm actually surprised, because Shedinja, I feel like there's so many restrictors that actually beat Shedinja, and Mythicals too. Most of the common Mythicals would beat it, but double choice lead doesn't actually seem bad to me with Magearna and Kyogre, I guess. Zacian, I don't really... I mean, Zacian... I mean, I always bring Kyogre. I like Magearna quite a bit here, because it's a pretty decent switch-in. Although, I guess Zacian could can just do more damage. But if they get Trick Room up, I think I'd rather have Magearna on the field. And I definitely could see them trying to set up Trick Room on this team. I have no idea what the speed interactions are between all of the Pokemon right here, which I am a little bit concerned about, but I guess we'll just find out as we go along, right? If I could get my Kyogre to power swap immediately, Water Spout can just put on a lot of pressure against the team, and then I could like solo the Shedinja, which would be really nice. Well, let's see here. Incineroar, Shedinja leading right off the bat. Okay, pretty good lead for me. I did lead off with my Magearna plus my Landers right here, so a pretty strong lead for me here. Okay. I kind of feel like tricking the... Ooh, I like tricking the Shedinja. Getting rid of a Focus Sash seems pretty solid right here. And I actually do kind of like that, because I could see Endure coming out from the Shedinja. I could also Searing Shots, but that would, of course, hit my Lander, so I don't really like that. I could go into Kyogre and Searing Shot and hope for the burn. It's not too bad. But I think I'm just going to go for a Rock Slide immediately, and I'm going to just trick the Shedinja right here. Trick seems to make the most sense. Poltergeist could be coming out, which I think is fine. I don't think I need Victini to win this game. Yeah, I like the trick here into Shed. They go for a Fake Out into my Victini, which is a-okay by me. I get to break the Sash immediately on the Shedinja, as well as get some decent chip onto the Incineroar with the Choice Band and Rock Slide. It does reveal to be the Sash on the Shedinja. No surprise there, but yeah, this is actually still a very nice position. They go for the Poltergeist into my Victini, which is completely okay. All right. So that's going to hurt quite a bit, but Wow, Victini actually took that better than expected, but then again, I guess base 100 HP, 100 defense with max HP investment and intimidate. Took a bit better than expected. Okay. I think in this case, I'd probably just want to go for a rock slide immediately and just hard swap my Victini, because V-Create with Scarf could actually still really be scary right here. I could also trick my Kyogre if I have to, if like their Groudon I expect to be really slow. And yeah, if they let me get the KO onto Shedinja, I just get the Solar Boost immediately. And if I flinch the Incineroar, they're in a really bad position. So I think regardless, that this is probably the safest way to approach this. They could switch out into Groudon, I suppose. But then when I bring out Kyogre, they're in a kind of a really tricky spot. So yeah, they're not in a really super safe position. I will bring out the Magearna to maybe try to snag a Solar Boost. Otherwise, I think at the worst case, it's like a parting shot. Indoor going to come out from Shedinja, which is not too surprising here. Okay. The Rock Slide. If I flinch the Incineroar, they're in a really bad spot though, because I probably like just get 2 knockouts with Flare Cannon plus Rock Slide. But they are able to break through, get the parting shot off in the Landorus, which is actually probably more ideal here. Let's see who they decide to bring out. Is it going to be the Groudon coming out? I'd imagine Groudon comes out here. If it's... I think this is a pretty good spot still, but it really just depends. I really like the idea. If they bring out Groudon, I just click Rock Slide plus Flare Cannon, I imagine here, because Ally Switch doesn't affect me here. The only play that could like kind of change the position, I guess, is Shedinja going for... Yeah, Groudon comes out. Okay. Flare Cannon would do a lot to the Groudon. I could also just go... I mean, I like the Rock Slide play. Like, if they're gonna switch out Shedinja, it's gonna be into Incineroar once again, I imagine. I think that's pretty safe. Let's see. Do I want to go for Flare Cannon though? Flare Cannon does do a lot of damage here, and if they max, like, sure, they max the Groudon, then I can play around it. So I think I'm just gonna go for the Flare Cannon right here and the Groudon. If they go for the Shadow Sneak, I at least get the KO on the Shedinja, which means my Kyogre can just run free right here because I don't have to worry about max geysering into an ally switch. They do switch out the Shedinja and match Incineroar coming back in. Yep. So pretty much what we expect here. I don't mind this. If I get the crit Rock Slide on the Incineroar, I just pick up the knockout Incineroar. And they're either going to go for Pestilence Blades or Max Quake here, I'd imagine. I don't know which one is going to be which. They are going to max the Groudon. Okay, so I imagine this has to be Max Quake here. We get to find out a speed interaction potentially. If they are Min Speed Groudon, I guess, at least. So Groudon going to Dynamax here. Really what I'm just hoping for is some... Okay, this is still okay. Like, I don't think this is too bad. V-Create is still going to hurt my opponent's team a lot. Saving my Landorus in the back is going to be pretty ideal. Rock Slide going to come out. Not bad damage. Into both. We're going to see the Max Quake. Yeah, I do have a Focus Sash. I could have also just Power Swapped to Groudon if I really wanted to, but I wasn't sure if they were going to commit to Max here. But it makes a lot of sense, right? Flare Cannon would have just done so much damage otherwise, and Pestilence Blades was probably not pick up the knockout. You also don't want to miss the Magearna because that Pokemon is a massive threat right here. So I should still be able to get some decent damage into the Groudon. Unfortunately, nope. That damage actually was kind of huge, but a little bit unfortunate for me. Probably was only doing like, I don't know, 20%, maybe a little less if it's Assault Vest, but still would have been nice, especially for V-Creates in the back. But gonna save my Landorus and just go for the Protect here with Magearna. If they target my Landorus slot, no big deal. I don't think they have a move that can one-shot it unless they have to either double up or read the switch and go for the attack there. But I imagine it's like Fake Out and probably like Max Quake coming out. So we'll protect our Magearna. We're gonna see the Fake Out come out into the Magearna. Interesting. Did they target my Landorus then? They did go for the... Okay, they did target my Landorus. Okay, nice. So Victini survives that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And still kind of weird. I'm gonna go for I have a few options. I could go for Searing Shot, but I don't really like that. I could trick the Groudon, which isn't a bad option, but it really just depends on its item. I think V-Create into the Incineroar is like a pretty safe play. They don't really have a switch in at all. And then maybe trick him with my Magearna. It really just depends on who I think is in the back, because that's another problem. But I guess I don't want to Trick Room yet. I kind of just want to get damage off realistically with power or a power swap off, but I think I'd rather Flare Cannon here. Yeah, because I can intimidate with Landers when it comes out, so I don't think it's too bad. They're not going to switch, which makes a lot of sense. V-Crate going to come out. I don't have to worry about missing case of with Victory Star, which is really nice. So Incineroar does go down, which is beautiful. Okay. And let's see who the Groudon targets, because it can only target one of my Pokemon. Rockfall doesn't KO the Victini with the Sand Chip, so that's still really okay for me here. They're gonna go for, they do go for the Rockfall play. Okay, that's into Magearna then. That does, oh, huh. That's a very interesting Rockfall target into my, into my Victini. Okay. I'm kind of surprised about that Rockfall play because the sand doesn't really benefit them, which I'm surprised about, and Magearna is a steel type, so I get the boost. I get a huge amount of damage with that Flare Cannon right there because it is +2 back to neutral here. Dynamax is over for my opponent. I think I'm just going to go out on a Kyogre right here and threaten some heavy damage, go out on a Landorus after, and probably just Dynamax and go for the Hailstorm right here. Try to pick up the knockout on the Shed cheekily, but also like just pressure the Groudon slot in general. So Kyogre going to come in, Calyx is going to come in perfect. Okay, I really like this position. I might just click Water Spout here. Do I? No, I don't think I risk Crypt Blades. That's the problem. Crypt Blades is so much. But then again, I guess there's still like really awkward situations. I mean, I think like I should probably risk the Blades crit. The only reason I think I should risk the Blades crit. Do I expect this to be a fast Calyx though? I don't think it's going to be like super fast. They don't have Tailwind or any, well, they could have Tailwind on Yveltal, I suppose. I want to go for a Water Spout and Heart Swap to Landers for the Intimidate. The main reason is just because I don't want to play into a Shed game where they could switch out one of these in the Shed. I was more worried about the switch out of the Calyx in the Shedinja and go for a like Precipice Blades there, like a really risky play. They might have just been worried about Origin Pulse, which is fine here because if I do outspeed, I just OHKO with Water Spout probably with Choice Specs Water Spout. But if they go for Protect, it's like pretty ideal because I get to go for a Rock Slide plus a Water Spout afterward. And it looks like there is no Max Guard or Protect from the Calyx. This has to be Assault Vest, I suppose. I guess if they did go for Glacial Lance though, it's a little bit awkward, but they don't survive, yeah, with the Calyx. I didn't think it'd be Assault Vest on this team. So the Calyx goes down, and I think I just win the game right here. Landis just seals it up right here. I could go for a Rockfall right here, which is pretty safe. And I mean, there's like a lot of ways I could win this, right? I could go for the Rockfall here into the Groudon that always 100% seals up the game right here. I think that's just like the safest way to go for here. I'm going to switch on my Kyogre, go back into Magearna. I'm going to go for the Max Rockfall here. I could go for the self-destruct right there, but then I wouldn't be able to hit the Shedinja anyway. So yeah, we're going to go for the Rockfall. We're going to target down the Groudon slot because they have no way, unless they actually have a weather move on this team. I don't expect them to, but yeah, Rockfall should always just be able to KO the Shedinja right here. And I went for the Rockfall on the Groudon. It doesn't really matter who I target because I'm just using the Sand to pick up the knockout into Shedinja anyway, so it's really not that big of a deal. But yeah, Power Specs Kyogre. And really, I think my Landorus was just such a strong lead, and their team was kind of weak to Landorus until they brought the Calyx Ice, but the Calyx Ice kind of came in a little bit late. They were able to use their Dynamax, but they didn't really get that much. They got huge damage by Magearna, and Magearna was a threat to them, but yeah, overall, I felt like I was just able to be put in a pretty solid position with just a huge damage output. Knocking out the Incineroar early, breaking the Sash on the Shedinja, which could have come into play now. I'd expect an Endure right here. Yep, they do Endure with the Shedinja, which is why Rockfall to Groudon, but it really doesn't matter here. I'm relying on Sand to pick up the knockout anyway. So next turn, I could probably just go for an Airstream and a... Am I Blizzard or am I Ice Beam? I'm going to click Water Spout probably. But Lander should just be able to win the game against Groudon. I haven't locked into an attack yet, and I just can't imagine the Groudon pick up a knockout right here. Fire Punch does actually some pretty significant damage to my Landers. I was surprised. Sand, gonna knock out Shedinja. Ah, you are nuts. You are nuts. And I got a Solar Boost on top of that. Okay. And now we're just gonna go for the Flare Cannon into the Groudon. We're gonna go for the Airstream, I suppose. Or do I Oh, we don't have Airstream, right? But we do have Max Strike, and I guess I'll click Max Strike. Why not? I'll click Max Strike here. A goodbye right there. That's my opponent forfeits. Able to seal up the game, and yeah, I just felt like overall Kyogre was really strong as long as I got rid of Shedinja. It looks like pretty much. I wasn't able to eliminate the Shedinja, but the Shedinja had to play scared with its sash broken, and my Landers like really gave them trouble. They really just didn't put themselves into a solid position against Landers, and Landers was just able to just go for damage right away, and I was able to preserve it pretty well and stall at the Dynamax, not taking too much damage other than Magearna. And then I was just able to like eliminate slots, so Shedinja couldn't play like a super strong game of like keep switching in, which was pretty strong. And that is the show. Power swap Magearna. I feel like there were probably quite a few times where I could have just like gotten the power swap off, but man, just giving those boosts to Kyogre is already pretty crazy. I kind of wonder how the team would have done with just like a Mystic Water Kyogre, because I'm pretty sure that the Mystic Water Kyogre would have still been able to pick up the knockouts, especially after 2 Solar boosts, and would have been a little bit more flexible, which would have been really nice. But still, very, very solid team regardless. If you did enjoy today's video, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below. It really does help me out. You want to check out the details of the team down below in the description. You can grab the rental on the screen here. You can check out the restricted tier list and a bunch of other content that I do have planned. And that's going to be it for me. Have a great day, people. And until we bow again, I'll catch y'all later.